Good afternoon. Welcome to the Book Flood Podcast. I am your host, Tom Nixon. Today it's just me. We have some great guests coming up in the next few weeks, and I'm going to talk about them in just a little bit. But today, you just get me. As always, the Book Flood Podcast is sponsored by goldenlibraries.com. I wanted to talk first, though, about book access. This is one of the things that I spend a lot of time doing. This is one of the areas that I consult on. So if I were going to choose 5 different things to improve your book access in your library, in your classroom, wherever, number 1, when do you take your lunch? Students need to be able to come into the library at lunchtime. If you're lucky, you have 2 staff members. If you're unlucky, you have 1 staff member. But really, you want that's a key time for students to be using the library. Number 2, when are you open? Are you open in the morning? Are you open in the afternoon? Are you open during specific periods that teachers could send small numbers of students? How often do classes come to the library? I have seen situations where they come once a week, twice a week, once every other week. Part of that I get depends on how large your school is, how many classrooms you have, who is supposed to go to the library. In my world, everybody should go to the library. If you have a preschool program on campus, they should be going to the library. Special education certainly should be going to the library. English learners should certainly be going to the library. Everybody on campus. That does make some of these things a little hard to do, and so you have to figure out how you do that. How many books may a student check out? This is one of those things where you would like to say as many as is possible. Depends on the size of your library a little bit. I would like to see, though, students checking out at least 2 books per week. Could be one that is a reach book for them and one that is a little more in their reading range, but I don't worry too much about reading range. Can students check out books over the summer? Can students check out books over winter break? Can students check out books over spring break, Thanksgiving break, all these kind of things? The answer should be yes to all of that. Summer, I get, can be a challenge, but unless it's a student who is not coming back to your school, they're a 6th grade student and they're going to the middle school next year, something. You definitely want to at least have this as a possibility for folks. When I was in charge of libraries for Fresno Unified, one of the things we were able to implement is libraries were open during summer school. If a school was having summer school, we hired the teacher librarian, we hired the library technician to be there during that time to check out books. One of the best things we ever did, I thought. And that's all for reading access for now. I want to talk a little bit, though, about events coming up. Ventura County Office of Education's Library and Literacy Day is on October 1st. For all of these events, if you go to goldenlibraries.com, you're going to find a post there that says California Library News. They don't all have links, but it'll be easy for you to find them using Google. They are currently looking for proposals for that event. As well as people to register. Ventura is a lovely place. The California Department of Education Library Survey closes August 31st. It's using data from the year before last, so you should have already had this done last year, but they do give you a little bit more time, August 31st. California State Library is going to have a couple trainings on Alexander Street Performing Arts Multimedia Training. October 2nd, October 3rd, definitely worth going. California State Library has been doing amazing work with what they've pushed out for free. All schools, all public libraries have access to these things. Next up, California Young Reader Medal Committee is looking for readers. This is reading books and then it's part of the scoring that goes with it. Now we have some conferences, though. I'm going to try to go to as many of these as I can. It is challenging, but California Reading Association, CRA conference. It's a virtual conference, and so that makes it a little easier. October 4th, October 5th. The Fall Q conference, that's actually a tech conference, but the library folks and the tech folks have always collaborated on such kinds of things. Definitely a conference worth going to. I've been a bunch of times. School Library Journal Day of Dialogue. This is a virtual event. School Library Journal. If you don't subscribe to this, you really should. That's virtual, of course. That's October 10th. The CLA, California Library Association Annual Conference, October 17th through October 19th. That's in Pasadena. And CSLA 2025. So we're pushing into next year. That's going to be January 23rd to 26th in San Jose. And that's all that I have for now. As I said, you can go to the goldenlibraries.com website and you can find all these events. I'll try to put some links with them as well today. For future podcasts, we do have some great guests coming up. Next week is going to be the president of California Library Association, Sean Thrasher. He's going to talk about their conference and proposals and their organization. Next up after that is going to be CSLA, California School Library Association Conference. That's Renee Holes, and she's going to be talking about conferences and proposals, all those same kind of things. Wanted to give equal time to our public and school folks. Then I have two California authors coming up. Children's author Nikki Shannon Smith has a new book coming out, and she's going to come and talk about that on September 12th. And Margarita Engel, who has won so many awards for books. She's local for us, so it's a wonderful kind of thing. She publishes both YA and children's books in English and Spanish. She's Cuban American, and that's going to be on September 19th. If you're looking to be on this podcast, if you think you have something to offer, needs to be about books, needs to be about libraries, probably needs to be about reading and some, these kinds of things. Send us an email at info@goldenlibraries.com. Librarians, libraries, authors, vendors. I'm a little careful with the vendors thing, but if it's of value to the group, it's a value to the group. And that's all we have for today. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Next week, as I said, is California Library Association President Sean Thrasher. Thank you for joining us today.